Well, the Russians will rock your world from Moscow to Kiev Square. Oh, yeah, Mr. Putin, I'm gonna make you wear the silly hats, yeah, yeah. You broke the rules, now we'll send you to Siberia. The crazy Russians. Kick it.
Well, good afternoon and happy Thursday to all you podcast listening fools. If you've stumbled upon this episode by accident, I'm just going to tell you that you're in for a wild and crazy ride full of stupidity, crazy town antics, swashbuckling conversation, and an overall rip-roaring good time. If you're listening to this on purpose, well, we love you, and you already know what's in store for you on this little thing we call Fraternize with these guys. I'm your humble host, Pastor Pondwood, and as always, sitting across from me on this glorious early spring day, the hostess eating a hostess, Beezy.
What?
Yeah.
I ain't got no ho-ho.
You don't got no hostess?
I ain't got no ding-dongs. I ain't got no Twinkies. Where's my treats, son?
The Russians stole them.
Oh, bastards.
They decided that the hostess was their domain.
The hostess?
And they took it.
Do not get no more hostesses.
They have sent all the hostess to Siberia.
Bomb them.
And, you know, Siberia, they don't need refrigeration because, you know, it's freaking cold out there.
It is a refrigerator. Well, it's a freezer.
Dude, what is going on? World War III has begun.
Dude, I think it's all another one of these COVID scares.
Well, it's funny that COVID, it kind of went away. It pivoted, if you will, and now it's wall to wall coverage of the Ruskies, and COVID is no longer a topic. And I think now this is the conspiracy brain coming out, but you know the Democrats' polling was terrible because they were terrible on COVID. And so they need another distraction. Well, now they got ones.
What's more of a distraction than WW3?
I mean, Russians invading Ukraine. I mean, that's obviously more important than, you know, folks dying at home from a disease. So
fake one.
The fake disease.
So we are not medical professionals, so we cannot say yay or nay on that.
Go see your doctor. Let them tell you what to do.
I've done some digging and some reading on this.
What, on the Russia thing?
Yeah, the Russian thing.
But now wait. I have to take concern with the phrase you've done some reading.
Well, yeah.
like on your phone, like websites. Okay, well that's like a halfway. You're definitely not reading.
Still technically reading. There's words, and some of them are big.
Well, it's not like you're sitting around reading Dr. Zhivago because you want to study up on the Russians or something.
Exactly. I'm not going to do that. So
understood.
It doesn't really seem like this is going to do anything because basically the world is like Russia. Come on. When Germany says. Nah, you ought to not do that, yeah. This is bad time.
I also feel like every world leader is like, Putin, come on, man. Come on. And then Putin's like, are you going to do anything? And the world is like, well,
what do you want?
No, not really. Not really. We're like, you do you, poo-poo.
Do you, poo-poo.
That's the official Fraternize with these guys response to the Russian conflict. You do you, poo-poo. And if you want to go the opposite way and talk to Ukraine, you can do you do you. Since it's Ukraine. Mm-hmm. And I have no idea who the leader of Ukraine is because
I can't even pronounce it either.
It's Ukraine, so not very many people care. However, I did read something that I haven't checked to make sure it was true, but I read that 90% of the world's wheat grain comes from Ukraine.
I think it's actually lower, a little bit lower than that, but I do know what you're talking about.
It was a lot.
Yeah, it's an abnormally large amount of.
Or maybe
wheat,
it wasn't grain; it was oil
wheat production.
Some sort of oil. Anyway,
it's everything they do, like technology stuff. They have wheat. They have oil.
Did you just say they have weed?
Wheat.
Oh, wheat. I'm sorry.
Wheat.
I just love the fact you were like,
I
oil,
wasn't heavy on the age. So
they got cars. They got all this cool stuff. And you're like, and they got weed.
They got opium fields. And I mean, it's good stuff. Good time.
Opium fields was Afghanistan. We already mucked that up a couple months ago.
Yeah,
so
we got to ruin that one.
Yeah. So, hey, you know what was really funny? Speaking of weed. So the wife and I got off on Ghostbusters last night.
Oh,
so
yeah?
we watched all three. So not the female one because it's garbage.
That
But
doesn't count.
Ghostbusters 1 and 2, and then the new one.
Yep.
So in Ghostbusters 2, there's this weird cutscene, and there's a dude talking about what's going on with the ghost or whatever, and the guy behind him with his mouth open is Cheech from Cheech and Chong, and it's just this weird random cameo, and he just shows up. And he's got like 2 scenes, and they're quick. He's just there. It's hilarious.
You know what's funny is I think, because me and the wife, maybe a month or so ago, did the same exact thing.
Okay.
Watched 1, 2. We actually ended up watching the one with the chicks.
Okay.
And then the new one.
Right.
And I think that I even said something. I go, is that Cheech?
Yeah, he's super young.
Yeah.
And he's just randomly there. No Chong, just Cheech.
That was when he was a stagehand
It must have been.
back then. He was just cleaning the floor and he got in the scene. He's like, aye.
Yeah. That's pretty good. And by the way, the third one, or the new one with the kids, I liked it. I thought it was great.
It wasn't bad.
And it was directed by the original director's son. We found that out last night.
Harold Ramis' son?
No, he wrote the originals, but the director of the first 2,
Okay.
the son of that guy, was the one who directed the new one.
Yeah.
And that's why it feels like the first one. The same music is there. And it's really, I thought it was great. I thought it was well done.
it was a good, and I loved the very end.
Oh, yeah.
No spoilers or anything, but
I mean, it's
the
only
ending
been
was
out for
pretty good.
a year and a half or whatever. So
Has it been that long?
like it has.
Good grief.
It's been out a long time. But
Thanks, Obama.
that's hilarious. Well, speaking of Obama, how'd you like that segue?
Hey, beauty.
Speaking of Obama, no. See, here I am talking about the great segues I have, and then I did
you
a
muck it up.
terrible segue. Well, we found this little song called "In the Doghouse," and we can't use the other "In the Doghouse," so
clearly.
you're just gonna have to deal with some jazz in the background.
Yeah, everybody. I mean, the only thing that would make this better if it was a little bit of jazz flute.
Oh, the Yaz
Some Yaz flute?
Yeah, that's pretty good. Well, let's do a little bit of last but not least. So the new kind of just the kind of the new way to get into the episode. We're going to get all you the information real quick right off the bat. Then we're going to get right into the episode. And I always say last but not least, and I usually say it like 5 times.
Yep.
So we're just going to do that from now on. Last but not least, we're in the doghouse. So
Woohoo.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Of
It
course.
looks good in here. Glad to be here. Last but not least, don't forget, we got Eccentric on board. We're going to be down there on location March the 11th.
Yeah, buddy.
Get ready for Patty's Day recording.
Yeah, buddy.
So if you want to come out and have some beverages with us, Friday the 11th, March 11th, at Eccentric Brewing in Midland. We should be there and get started about 7 o'clock, something like that.
Yes, 7, 8 o'clock, somewhere
Come
around
out,
there.
have some brews with us, and we'd love to see you. And then we're going to record there the next day
That's
in the
right.
off hours. So we're looking forward to that. And surprise, something I really didn't anticipate, last but not least, we got Cocoa Cocktails back on board.
Woohoo!
And they went through this weird little hiatus, and we weren't sure exactly what was going on. But
Yeah.
now they have new flavors that they're about to release.
Yeah, they did a complete rebranding.
And they look phenomenal. The cans look great. And then also they got some deals with HEBs in Texas. So possibly coming to a store near you.
Yeah,
So-
hoping so.
Anyway, we're excited to have them back on board. It's the only, to date, it's the only seltzer that I really do enjoy.
Yeah.
It's great. So we've got 2 great sponsors, and then we'll have some more up and coming in the next few weeks. So pay attention. They did it again. I did that last. Pay attention. I feel like I'm Putin.
So you pay attention now.
That's not what I meant. So stay tuned is what I meant.
Oh, there you go.
And last but not least, don't forget about Patreon. Go over there. You can support the show. We'd greatly appreciate it. And we need to give a shout out to our new subscriber,
Oh,
big old Dave.
the one, the only Panda.
That's how we've known him for a long time, as the old Panda.
That is correct.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your patronage and your support. We really appreciate you guys. How about let's get out of last but not least, let's do a little On the Wagon articles.
Cool.
Pablo Escobar's 80 cocaine hippos are wreaking havoc on a fragile ecosystem.
Hang on, say that again. I need you to read that one again. I was intrigued with the music, and I heard something. I could have sworn you said cocaine hippos.
Listen to this. The descendants of 4 hippos that Colombian cocaine drug lord Pablo Escobar smuggled into the country in the 80s are now hurting the entire country's ecosystem. So he purchased these in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. 4 of them for his private zoo. Well, of course, all the stuff happened with Pablo Escobar. There's now over 120 to 150 hippos.
Good Lord.
And they say within 5 years, it'll be over 1,000 if they don't do anything.
What?
Over 1,000 hippos in Colombia, where obviously they're not native.
Bro, sure.
And so one of the scientists says it's obvious that we feel sorry for these animals, but as scientists, we need to be honest. We can't have them. Hippos are an invasive species in Colombia. If we do not kill a part of the population now, the situation could be out of control in just 5 or 10 years.
Holy crap, dude.
So cocaine hippos. If you go to Colombia, not only can you get some cocaine, but you can see cocaine hippos.
Why? I may have just solved some animal issues.
Okay. Like
why,
solved them?
Why don't we just send a bunch of pandas to drug lords?
There's a thought.
And I mean, because at that rate, that kind of sounds a bit like they're humping more than rabbits.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, they are on cocaine. So, I mean, they're doing stuff quickly. The article says that in Africa, hippos kill over 500 people a year.
Yeah, they're the most deadly creature in Africa.
And this is the most dangerous animal on the planet, statistically speaking.
Yeah.
And so the Colombian government, they got to do something about these hippos, which is hilarious.
Dude, and those are some ruthless critters.
I tell you what. How would you like to go on a Colombian hippo hunt?
I'm down.
That would be, you know what? I'd get an airplane for that.
Okay.
If somebody could set that up, I'd get an airplane for that.
I bet you we can get the pirate hunter involved.
Maybe
get his contacts to contact our folks.
Dude, how many times do you get to smuggle something into Colombia?
I know, right?
So smuggling cocaine's a regular deal out of Colombia.
Other than guns.
Other than guns.
Other
that's
than
true.
guns.
Well, this time you're smuggling 2 white kids with guns into Colombia to help with their hippopotamus problem.
Dude, that is awesome.
So I want a hippo for Christmas. A cocaine hippo.
Oh, my good grief. I'll take a cocaine hippo.
You knew it was coming. I mean, you knew it was coming. All right, man. Well, let's get off the wagon and get a little libations going.
Ooh. Libations!
Mr. Beasy.
Mm-hmm.
We're going back to our
bringing it back to the roots.
Kind of. I fear this one because I haven't had it in a long time.
I know, me too.
And when we did enjoy it, it was definitely before our palates had
refined.
Yeah, we were still enjoying Keystone when we enjoyed this beer.
That's fair. This was our. Hey, you got an extra $20?
Yeah, right.
We felt like we was gonna live high on the horse.
We're gonna spoil ourselves a little bit.
Yeah, we gonna treat yourself.
All right.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Tell us what we're drinking.
All right, so for those of you watching on the YouTubes, today's beverage is the George Killian's Irish Red.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. This is the website's interesting. There's not a whole lot of information. If you want to go check it out, it's georgekillians.com. That's KILLIANS.com. Check out the beers. I think it's about the only one that they got.
Yeah, I think so.
It says on their website, it says the original George brewed his beer in 1864 for one simple reason: to drink and enjoy with friends. George Killian's Irish Red. The appearance is a deep ruby red in color with a dense off-white foam. On the aromas, got a roasted and toasted caramel characteristics with an ale-like fruit esters. The taste is roasted and toasted caramel, malt introduction with nice bready characteristics.
What the heck does that mean?
I don't know. Mouthfeel is full-bodied with medium carbonation, and on the finish is well-balanced with a slight lingering citrus rind and subtle sweetness.
Okay, well, I mean, it's a lot of words.
Yeah,
I don't know how that's going to translate over to the taste, but we'll see, I guess.
And I cannot find what the ABV is.
I was just going to ask that.
So I would venture to say this is most likely going to be in the 4.5-ish.
5.4.
Well,
5.4.
I would have been wrong.
Serving facts. Serving facts over on the side. So they have to put it on the bottle, the way I understand
I thought so.
So, but it's there. It's
Yeah,
just tiny.
5.4.
Okay. Brewed in Colorado, which is interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that.
But this is going to be, we mentioned this on the last episode, the
Right.
month of March, we are going to do what we feel is Irish beers.
Right.
So I actually picked them all up.
Nice. Well, good for you. And in Podunk, Texas,
You don't get these.
Well, I mean, if you're going to find an Irish beer, this is probably it.
Well, yeah.
You got the best chance of finding this one than the rest of them.
Right.
But, oh, gosh. Okay, I hate to say let's go, but are you ready?
I say we crack them open.
All right, let's give it a whirl.
Clink it and drink it. Oh, I remember why I like this one, dude.
You know what? Not bad.
No,
It's really not bad at all.
not bad.
It tastes like a sophisticated lager.
Yeah,
really
and this
does.
was, and I remembered we jumped into after we kind of got burnt out on this one.
Right?
This is when we jumped into Shiner.
It's very close.
It's very close.
That's interesting.
but it's a little sweeter than Shiner.
Yep.
Which is a very big positive for me.
For you, yeah. I don't mind the sweet. I think it's balanced well. It's got those caramel notes for sure
Yeah.
coming out. I don't know what they're trying to say about bready, but it is a little toothsome, and so it has that ale kick, and it doesn't have a bad domestic flavor, which was I was really worried about that. But I don't look. I'm not saying I'm going to go out and buy a whole bunch of these for the house or anything, but it's not near as bad as I was
expected
worried
it to be.
about.
Yeah, yeah, for
Because
sure.
Neither one of us had this in a long time.
Man, it has been. It's probably been over a decade since I had one.
And
of
I never
these.
think about it. Like if I see it, I just go past it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's something we've had thousands of times.
We've
and-
drank gallons upon gallons
Wow.
of this.
Okay,
So,
well, look, I'm pleasantly surprised coming from my expectations. So, man, I might go ahead and even finish the beer for this episode.
you watch your mouth, sir.
I mean, I know it's a stretch, but I might do it. It's good, man. I like it.
Yeah, there's some really good flavor. It's not heavy on the carbonation, like it says in the description.
Oh, like you said, sweet. I dig it. And price point's good.
Yeah, price point is good. It's still in the $9.99, $8.99 range,
Well,
depending
shoot,
on where
man.
you're at.
All right. Well, I'm pleasantly surprised, and definitely. Again, I'm not saying I'm gonna go buy a bunch of it, but maybe the next time I see it, my eyes aren't immediately just gonna go past it to the next
I
thing.
mean, hey, you know what? I might as well go ahead and pick it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 74.
74?
just right in that middle C category, acceptable, and I mean, definitely take that over any of the domestics that you're
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
find in the store for sure.
No doubt, no doubt.
And really, depending on what you're doing, maybe more than Shiner.
I 100% agree. I do like this one a little bit more than Shiner.
So I got a stogie going, and this stogie is a punch Diablo.
Okay.
And they're known to have a little bit of spice in it, and it pairs really good.
Nice.
So spice is nice.
Spice is nice.
So I'm pleasantly surprised, and
Me too.
gratefully that the first Irish beer out of the gate, not too bad.
We're rocking solid.
Rocking solid robots.
And by the way, the series is going to be for the month of March. They're not all going to be dedicatedly Irish beer. This one is just an Irish red. I think we've got a local brewery where we're actually going this evening, so we might be able to get it on tap.
Sweet.
But it's called the Social Justice Warrior.
Right.
And it is a whiskey flavored imperial stout.
Yes. And if you're wondering, it's not a political statement.
No, it's really not. We'll go into it.
And not only that, but the reason we're going is because we need to find the backstory.
Yes.
And so we've been holding off on this because we didn't know the backstory.
Yes.
So we got to go figure that out.
Yep.
All right. Sorry to get to the beer a week ahead, but just give you a little teaser for next week.
Yep.
Because we got some detective work to do.
Ooh.
Okay. So Killian's is good. Definitely like it.
74 from you.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to give it an 81.
Wow. Getting on up there.
It's
tasty.
It's good. And the only reason that I think I haven't picked it up is because they don't have it at the grocery store I go to on the regular.
Okay.
So
that makes sense. Yeah. It's just not something that's in your wheelhouse.
Well, that, and we've just about tapped that grocery store out on beverages.
Okay.
So I had to go to the HEB.
Okay.
And
well, shoot, man, I'm pleasantly surprised.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Me too.
I am super glad that this did not disappoint.
This will be one of those beers we'll be happy to tag them in.
Yes. We didn't crap all over it.
Definitely did not. All right. Well, great libations. Let's do a little questions.
Cool.
Let me ask you something. Sorry, I had to get my my stogie smoked there a little bit. A little bit of lag time. Sorry about that.
That will happen.
Totally worth it.
Totes worth it.
First question is coming in from 14-year-old Night Cupcake.
Night Cupcake.
Probably not her real name. Just, bet.
How cool would that be if that was?
Look, that's a sweet name.
Depending on how this question goes,
right?
It very well could be her name.
Well, that's a good point. That'd be a great superhero, the Night Cupcake.
The Night Cupcake.
I'm making sure you deliver sweets to all the diabetics.
When everything's closed.
When everything's closed.
And you've got a sweet tooth aching.
Whenever
Who do you call?
If it's 3 a.m. and your insulin drops, Night Cupcake to the rescue.
Night Cupcake. Night Cupcake.
That is hilarious. How do we open with Hostess and now we've stumbled upon Night Cupcake?
Yeah.
All right. From Night Cupcake, she says, I'm 14 and my mom says she's keeping a running log of all the money that she has spent on me and expects me to pay all of it back when I become an adult. Is this normal upon reaching adulthood?
Huh. Can you do this?
I mean, yeah. I don't know if there's any legal recourse. If she doesn't pay, it's not like you could drag her into civil court or anything like that. Unless when Night Cupcake was a baby, if she signed a contract.
Oh, blood.
If you signed a contract, I mean that's a living, breathing dude. I mean you can't get out. What if it's like student loans where you can't even bankrupt it? Like they're always going to be there.
Oh, you're bankrupt? You file bankruptcy?
Tough.
That's great. We're still hanging with you, bro. Just in case you decide to trumpet and become a billionaire again, we're still taking it.
That's hilarious. So it's government sanctioned pay to your parents.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like taxes since we got to take care of old people.
Yeah.
So the government kind of already does this.
Yeah.
That's a good answer. So she's saying, can my mom do this? Like, well, Uncle Sam's doing it.
I mean,
so
why not?
Why can't your mom do it?
Yeah. I mean, if this is the case, I've got to get a contract drafted.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get my daughter to sign this.
What's interesting, I never signed a contract to pay taxes.
I didn't either.
I don't know where that
I think
comes
you
from,
actually did when you signed your driver's license.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Are you
I
sure
think there's
about that?
there's something
What if you
goofy
go to work
about
and
that.
you don't have a driver's license?
Well, then you're probably not working at a legitimate business. First off,
You might not even be a citizen.
you might not even be a citizen, bro.
All right, so look, first and foremost, if this really happened, kudos to the mom.
Yes.
And also, how dare you? Like, what are you talking about?
Yes. All right. That's hilarious. That's a nice gotcha.
It really is.
However, you can't be serious.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I owe my parents a lot.
Yeah.
Definitely more than I could pay back. My grandparents, too, both sides.
For sure.
So if I start tallying that up, well, man, I'm going to be paying them back for a long time. I mean, on my salary, it's going to be like 30,000 years.
You basically got to pay them till you die.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, they're dead and gone? I still got to pay them?
Still paying their estate off.
Yeah, still paying their estate? Jesus.
And then also, like, come on. Like,
It's
pretty cringy, right?
It is. And unless this is one of those that she's trying to prove a point because she's like, look, here's the deal. I'm going to go ahead and start building up a deal. So this is what's going to happen to you in life.
Okay.
We're going to start, you're going to get a credit card and they're coming after you.
That's right. That's right.
Maybe there's a teaching lesson behind this.
Okay.
To where she's trying to prep her for adulthood, which in that case,
yeah, bravo, right?
Good job.
Now, what are the chances that she's just a Karen, just a complete total crazy butt, and she's manipulating this situation where she's gonna get paid?
I mean, that's definitely a possibility. It's always a possibility, especially nowadays.
You would assume that the superhero, the Night Cupcake, she can make pretty fat stacks, right?
Yeah.
So you take a little bit of that back to pay off all the food, the rent, the transportation.
It's like those people that win the lottery and then people just start coming out of the woodworks. Hey, bud, you still owe me about $72,000 from when I let you borrow $10 at lunch in junior high.
That's right. Man,
the interest it's a booger.
It's outrageous.
It's a booger.
It compounds daily.
Yeah.
So you're on the. I'm going to need that 150,000.
Yeah, just whenever you get a chance.
Did you watch that episode of Rogan where he had Jewel on, and she was talking about her mom,
the singer Jewel?
Yeah.
No.
So her mom was her manager, quote unquote, and stole like $25 million.
What?
Yeah, and then
she made that much money, anyways.
Well, much more than that. But her mom stole it and freaking disappeared. Like they hadn't seen her in years. Yeah,
dude.
bro. And they just like bounced. So
now there's
maybe Night Cupcake.
That is a sticky situation.
Yeah,
I mean, you got an embezzlement from your manager.
That's your mom.
But your manager's your mom.
And then what if you go to court and the mom's like, look, here's the bills from the 18
everything.
years.
This
is an interesting point. Interesting point. And then as a minor, you can't necessarily sign a legal contract, but your parents can sign for you.
You see this signature right here? When you were born, you didn't have anything to do with it. I signed it because you can't legally sign anything.
I was your executor. I had what's it called? Not lawyers' rights. I had whatever it's called, legal guardianship.
Right.
And so I signed for you. Maybe you need to draw one of these things up for your daughter.
I'm telling you, there may be something to this.
If she hits it big. And she's in her 20s. Well, you just slap her with a bill.
Here you go. Bills due. Oh, you can't pay? I'll send it to collections.
What if you took your daughter to collections?
Oh, dude,
bro?
that's terrible. That's terrible.
All right, Night Cupcake. Don't make any money. I think that's the way to avoid paying this back.
Yep.
If you don't have an income, then you just keep mooching off mom, and the bill keeps riding. But eventually, she's going to die, and you don't have to pay that bill.
There you go.
Okay.
Let it roll over to her estate.
I think we solved your problem there.
Beauty.
Good luck, Night Cupcake.
Night Cupcake.
I'm going to try
I like that name.
What if you put in the sky instead of the bat symbol is just like a little cupcake?
Just cupcake, and instead of like an amber colored light, it's like a pinkish hue.
Oh, that's funny. What if it shot confetti too? All right, we're getting off on the weeds a little bit. All right, question number 2.
Question number 2. Jim asks, can you refuse to stop when you're being pulled over by the police?
Okay. Not to get super political, if your name's Jim, you got a better chance of getting away with it than if your name's Jamal.
Oh, man. That's fair.
I mean, look, I'm just saying. I'm
just calls it likes to seize
not
it.
making a big statement about it, but I'm just saying your chances of getting away better if you're a Jim than if you're a Jamal. For sure.
I hear. I mean, you have all the rights in the world just to run.
Yep.
I mean, all you're doing is stacking charges.
I was going to say, as soon as you do, that's an additional charge.
Yep.
So it is an interesting conundrum. If you don't feel that you're doing anything, you get pulled over. What's the legal recourse there? Because they have to tell you why they pulled you over. Mm-hmm. And if they don't have a reason that they pulled you over, they can't provide that reason. Then what? You know, I've seen those videos.
Okay, bye.
See you later, Officer Daly. Have a good afternoon.
Run over your toe.
Now you got fleeing and assault.
Assault on an officer with a vehicular.
Yeah, you're going to prison, bro.
Yep.
Like, not jail. You're going to prison.
You goes to the pokey.
You're going to go spend some time with Escobar. I tell you what, if you spend some time with Escobar, he'd probably be able to get you out.
Hook you up with a cocaine hippo.
He'd get you a hippo.
I mean, I take one of them.
That's hilarious. What if you spent time in a jail cell with Pablo, and then when you got out, you went home, and in your backyard,
Just a little baby hippopotamus.
and it said, "Thanks, Jamal. Appreciate all your help."
It's got a nice little pink bow.
Yes, that's fantastic. All right,
hilarious.
so don't run.
No.
If they're going to pull you over, you're going to have to just go ahead and acquiesce to that. Because if you do run, that is a charge.
Yeah, for sure.
And now you've upped the ante.
you have a very fine time frame to where when the cherries and berries kick off
Yep.
till the time you pull over.
Yep.
Now, there have been incidents throughout the country where people will mock their cars up with blue and reds and pull people over and rob them.
That's right. That's
Now,
right.
if this is something that's going on in this area, the police are aware of it happening. So, and I do know that there's something you can do. I've heard it when we were watching like Live PD. It was something on there, and she actually calls the local police station.
Correct.
It's like, hey, I'm being pulled over, and I just need to verify that the officer that is pulling me over is an actual officer.
Correct.
And just driving the whole time.
Yeah. So I think I brought this up a couple episodes ago. We went through a training with an NRA instructor out of the Whittington Center, really knew his stuff. But he said, especially for women, if you get pulled over and you're in the middle of nowhere, to take your speed below the speed limit, turn on your hazards, and call 911. And they will. You can actually legally go to the next lighted area to be pulled over. You don't have to pull over right there, but you have to acknowledge you're being pulled over.
Right.
But he said that is a legal way to do that, and especially if you're a female and you're by yourself. Mm-hmm. And look, in today in our time,
Sure.
I mean, maybe even me. I mean, out in the middle of nowhere, I'm carrying a gun for sure.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be no witnesses, and I want to make sure that everything's on the up and up.
We've done our fair share of listening and studying serial killers.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
seems sketch, bro.
Yeah, but
You
even
just happen to pull me over where there's no lights, and I'm the only person on this road.
right, but also even just a regular good police officer. I'm not saying anything bad about police officers because I'm a fan of the police.
Yeah.
You know, back to blue kind of sort of, right?
Sure.
I don't want to deal with them.
Yeah.
I don't want to get in trouble by them.
Do your thing over there.
That's right. Go hunt somebody
Leave
else.
me alone. You
But-
do your thing.
Look,
do you poo poo?
You catch an officer that's at the end of his shift. He's had a bad day, and something goes awry. You've got a gun in the car, and he receives it as a threat that's not a threat. Bro, you might go to jail over some nonsense for quote unquote threatening an officer.
For sure.
And if there's people around or it's lighted, you might not deal with that situation. I recommend recording the entire correspondence. As soon as you get pulled over, I recommend have your phone recording the whole time. And tell the officer, the phone is recording. And I haven't been pulled over since I've had a cell phone, so I haven't done that. But I would recommend it in all seriousness. And if they start with you need to turn that off, well, you know you got a bad officer right there.
Yeah.
Because they can't do that. You gotta
Okay,
record.
bye.
Sticky situation. Definitely stop.
Yeah, you
Definitely stop.
For certain want to stop, but make sure, especially if it's a well-lit area, you know for sure that is a cop car, pull your ass over.
Yep.
If you didn't do anything wrong and you don't have anything in your car,
Right.
you got nothing to be worried about.
Right. I hate that argument that you shouldn't be worried even if you don't have anything to be worried about. I get the other side of that, but man, also protect yourself. Study your law.
Yeah.
Know the legal procedures. And if you get a ticket, take the ticket. Don't argue with the dude. Look, if you're speeding, man up.
Man up.
Take the ticket.
Exactly.
Have a nice day. Thanks for keeping us safe and go about your business. Don't be an asshole just because, sorry, I get worked up sometimes. I don't mean to cuss, but just do your civic duty.
Yep.
If you're speeding, you didn't get away with it this time. How many thousands of times have you gotten away with it? So just count this up to payment a little bit for all those times you didn't
All those
get
times
caught.
you got by.
That's right.
Just paying the piper.
And Jim or Jamal, definitely stop.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely want to stop.
Anything else before we go on to a little cinemize?
No. I think that's gonna cover. Let me ask you something.
Let's cue those recorders. Interestingly, we were going to do a Cinemize that was a little like a theme.
Yep.
And the whole episode was going to be a theme.
Yeah, it was.
But we have a Texas Spring,
and
it turned from like single digits.
Yeah.
It's going to be 80 today, bro.
It's ridiculous, man.
It's crazy. So
I love seeing those memes on Facebook and such where it's like, all other states get the 4 seasons, and Texas is like, well, hold my beer, I'm going to do it in one day.
One day. Yeah. And not only just one day, but every day in February and March.
Yeah.
You're going to get all 4 seasons.
Well, shoot, I know we're probably not done with winter.
No, I don't think we are.
Because, hell, I remember back when we got married, we were getting married on the 2nd of April.
You and your wife. Me
and Pinewood, when we were getting married.
We got married back at the time when it wasn't even legal to get married in Texas.
We were lawbreakers. We ran from those cops.
We ran from the cops.
But when me and my wife were getting married, the day before, this is April 2nd, on April 1st, it freaking snowed.
Oh, man, that's crazy. Well, the last frost date average in our area is April the 18th.
Wow.
That's the last frost date. So it definitely happened. So we were going to do survival movies that were winter-based, but we scratched the winter because it's freaking hot.
Yeah.
And so we're just going to do survival movies.
Yep.
And the way we got it queued up is we both get 5, and then we got a couple honorable mentions.
Yes.
All right, so you want to trade, or would you just like to go first?
Let me do mine.
All right.
And I actually have 6 because I know me and you are going to share one of them.
Okay, fair enough. And I think I know which one.
Yeah. Okay. So mine are still, they're going to flirt with the winter/cold survival type stuff.
That's fair.
Just because.
Definitely not something that you have to
Because I'm going to run from this.
Okay, fair
this
enough.
law.
Okay.
So my first one was The Gray with the Neesons. Oh, Neesons!
You know, it kind of got crapped on when it came out, but it's
Yeah.
a pretty legit movie.
It's a decent flick.
I liked it. I don't like the glass knuckles. I thought that was a little far-fetched.
Goofy, but
I mean, he goes to town on a wolf, bro. Like, it's all right.
yeah.
I enjoyed it.
It's not quite as good as one of my honorable mentions, but we'll get to that one.
Okay, fair enough.
My next one is John Carpenter's The Thing, and I'm talking the original 1982 version with Kurt Russell.
Okay, now when we were talking about this before, I revealed to my shame, I have not seen that movie.
This blows my freaking mind. It blows my mind that you have not seen this movie.
I have not seen it.
It is a stellar movie.
Okay, interesting.
Number 3 is Cliffhanger with Stallone.
Yep. That's a good one.
And then I have another kind of rock climbing type movie, and it's called Vertical Limit. Mm-hmm. People really didn't see that one, and I don't understand why, because it had a pretty solid cast. It had Chris O'Donnell, had Bill Paxton in it.
Yeah,
he was the bad guy.
Yeah, it's great too.
Yeah, and then Robin Tooney was in it as well.
Right. And I tell you, when that movie kind of comes to a head, when it's really like life or death, and he betrays the group, it's so good, bro. It's really man.
Sneaky.
And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they're on K2.
K2, yeah.
And then there's another movie called K2. And it's very similar.
Yes.
And I think it came out around the same time.
But I'd have to do some digging, but I think you're right. I think it probably did come around.
But if you're going to pick one, Vertical Limit's the way to go.
Yeah.
Watch both of them. They're both great.
Both good movies. But Vertical Limit's better.
For sure. Absolutely.
My next one is, this is a book adaptation from Jack London.
Oh, yeah.
You already know where I'm going with this
one. Heck yeah.
White Fang.
That's it's a great book for sure. Stands the test of time.
Book is so much better.
Well, I wasn't going to say that. Stands the test of time. But the movie's solid.
Yeah. Young
Really
Ethan Hawke.
Yeah. God, how old was he in that movie? Like 15, 18?
I don't know. He had an age. He's kind of got that
Paul Rudd thing going
Paul Rudd / Tom Cruise deal going on with him.
Yeah, for sure. I tell you, man, as far as a dynamic actor goes, he plays a lot of different roles and does it well.
Yeah,
I really like
does.
that guy, for sure.
Really does.
Okay,
and
good.
then my sixth one, which is the one that I'm pretty sure we're gonna have the same thoughts on, and it's arguably my favorite survival movie.
All right.
It also has Ethan Hawke.
Interesting.
Alive.
Great movie. If you would have asked me that before we started the episode, I don't think I would have said Ethan Hawke was in it.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so that would have made my list also. If you haven't seen that one, I say that's the first one to watch.
Bro, that one is amazing.
Yep.
So like
Based on a true story.
Based on a true story. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, it's only been out for 30 years.
Yeah,
so.
if you haven't seen it yet, then shame on you. But basically, the premise of the movie is there were a soccer team and some other folk that were on a plane, and they crashed in the Andes Mountains.
Right.
And the plane hit the side of the mountain, so they were there for like 30 days or something crazy.
Long time.
And they ended up getting into cannibalism and eating some of the dead passengers.
Yep.
Just to survive.
Yeah.
And then they ended up getting a couple of the guys that were healthy enough to hike down the mountain and get to town and get help. But they ended up surviving. I think there was like 17 or something that fully lived.
That's crazy.
But yeah, that's a good movie, dude.
I'm going to have to look this up. And I can't promise I'm going to remember it, but maybe y'all out there that are interested, you could do this. There's a story about some folks that survived on a boat in similar circumstances. And they were out there for months and months, and one of their dudes died, right? And two of them ate the guy, like ate part of the guy. Well, they got rescued, and then they relived their story, and they put them in jail for cannibalism.
Yeah, I do remember hearing something about that.
And I have no idea where or when, but I did hear about that. And that's super messed up.
I vaguely remember something about that. They got put in jail because of the documentary or whatever, and then they were released. The judge said, "No, I mean, we're not going to do that. They had to do it to survive, man."
That's crazy. See, we'll look it up, and maybe we'll put it in the next episode's updates.
Yeah,
we can look that up. But okay, and now you had your 5.
Yep,
or actually 6, all solid.
Yes,
and you still have an honorable mention.
I do. I'll save those for after you go.
Okay, so my 5. First one is, these are all a little bit different than your kind of action survival movies. Mm-hmm. First one's Into the Wild. So
Into the Wild.
John Candless, it's his story. It was a book first by Krakauer, and really good. And it's basically like a guy gives up his modern day life, sells all of his crap, gives away his money, and then hitchhikes to Alaska. And he's basically like a bum, and he just lives the bum life. And he finds in Alaska, he goes and he lives in this, it's like a hunting trailer.
Okay.
It was an old bus that they turned into a hunting trailer. And he does pretty good. He kills a moose. He's doing all this, blah, blah, blah.
Bare hands or?
No. He shoots him. And he ends up
he didn't
dying.
get rid of all of his possessions.
No, he had a few. But, I mean, you got a bag of rice and a rifle in Alaska. I mean, it's pretty much all your you don't have any luxuries left.
Okay. Fair enough.
He ends up dying because he mistakes a mushroom. And he basically just can't.
Ate the wrong mushroom.
That's it. This whole time, he's doing pretty good.
I bet he wished he had an outdoors manual.
In the movie, what's sad is he has the manual. And he just just the wrong one. And it was like just a subtle difference.
Oh, that is a cosmic.
Yeah, like the lines ran horizontal instead of vertical.
That is a cosmic dick slap.
I mean,
you got the book? You read it? Here you go.
One way to put it, I guess. Great movie, though. Really well done. Second movie is Older, Jeremiah Johnson with Robert Redford.
Old Redford.
And it is fantastic.
Never saw that one.
It's good. And then another movie he was in, I cannot remember the name of it, but he's on a boat surviving, and the whole movie...
Did he eat somebody on the boat?
No, there wasn't anybody to eat. The whole movie's just him.
Ugh.
And he's old. It's really good. It's a good movie. So Jeremiah Johnson. Third is 127 Hours. Have you seen this flick?
That's the one where the dude cuts his arm off.
Yeah, he gets his arm stuck, and he sits there for 120-something hours.
127 hours?
Something like that. And then the end result is, well, I got to cut my wrist off. And he does, and then survives. It's a crazy story. Crazy
Did they ever go back up to that mountain and grab his hand and try and reattach it? Or
They definitely didn't reattach it.
did they cut the phalanges part of his foot off?
I would hope that he got it.
There so he had a little foot hand.
Do you remember us having a conversation where you cut your own leg off and then you get your leg as a walker?
As a walker?
That's what they did. So they gave him his bone hand. It's his prosthetic now. His actual bone hand.
That's awesome.
All right. 4, Book of Eli and I Am Legend.
Book of Eli is such a good movie.
Both of those movies are fantastic.
I Am Legend was okay.
Man, I liked them both. Really did. I put them in the same category because all those movies I would consider survival movies.
All the same.
And they're pretty good. Last Castaway.
Oh.
It's my favorite survival movie.
I remember going to see that in theaters.
Really?
And I did not realize that was like a 3-hour-long movie.
With one dude and a freaking volleyball.
One dude, man.
It's really good. Very good.
Two dudes.
Who was the other dude?
Spalding.
Wilson.
Yeah,
Spalding didn't make the cut, bro.
Spalding, that was too long. We couldn't afford that many letters.
So they filmed part of that. The ending of the movie, they filmed up by Pampa.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so Tom Hanks actually stayed in my little hometown, and my parents delivered flowers to his room because because they owned a little floral shop and they got to deliver. So my mom met him, I think. Like it was just this really crazy turn of events. But
hey, Tom.
all right, so my honorable mentions: Deliverance, which is definitely a survival movie.
Oh yeah.
And then I put Apollo 13 because it's a different type of survival movie.
Oh, thinking out of the box. I do like that one.
Yeah, out of this world.
Out of this world box.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah, I likes it. I will allow it.
All right, what are your honorable mentions?
30 Days of Night with Josh Hartnett.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I've seen
that was
That's
an
fair.
excellent movie.
Yes, very good.
And then The Revenant with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, man. I tell you
It's
what.
only an honorable mention. Because just like Leo's career, he almost makes it. Almost makes the list.
Every time. Every time, bro.
And this is the movie that actually got him to win an Oscar, if I'm not mistaken.
Did he actually win?
I think so.
Okay. Well, look, great movie. And then the actual story, the true story, is pretty similar.
Yeah, it's pretty bonkers.
The vengeance part that's not real. But the bear part and a couple others are pretty close to how it actually went down. Whew. And that is a rough scene, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's just getting raped by a bear for 2 hours. Like, it's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? I mean, it's just you and a bear.
I played dead.
I don't think that bear cared at all that he was playing dead.
He was horny.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Blinders.
Let's do it. Thank you, Blinders.
I didn't even do the lighter because I didn't need it. This is the only episode that I've kept the thing lit the whole time.
That's impressive.
Maybe I'm not talking enough.
No, you're talking plenty.
Everyone concurs.
It's all right. You're doing good.
So we have questions that we go over at the beginning of the episode, and BZ and I kind of banter about those beforehand. Thank you, Blinders, is just that. It's blind to us and usually causes us to think just a wee boot. And so I'm going to let BZ go first since I went first on the questions.
Okay.
So have at it, my friend.
Well, sticking with our survival theme
Okay.
from Cinemize, you're trapped 100 foot underwater.
Oh, God.
You have an O2 tank with 10 minutes worth of air. The problem is it's stuck in the ground and you cannot swim with it. How do you survive?
How far under?
100 feet.
And it's stuck in the ground.
Yes.
So I can move, but it can't.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the movie Sanctum?
No. Never even heard of that movie.
It's a caving movie, but they're underwater. It's like underwater cave
Underwater spelunking?
Yes. And it is creepy as all get out.
Okay.
Really weird. How fast can you travel 100 feet underwater?
Well,
Like, surely you can do it in a couple minutes, right?
I would think you could. I mean, that's one of
Okay,
the...
wait. Before you go on.
Okay.
What in the world am I doing 100 foot under the water? I hate the water, bro. Like, it scares me to be in the bathtub. I'm not going to be 100 foot underwater.
So you were fishing.
No.
You were out fishing.
You fish from the surface,
No,
bro.
hang on. I'm building a story. You were out fishing, and you had an envelope with your most prized and expensive stamps and coins.
Oh, no.
And it fell off the boat and just sank.
Okay, all right. Maybe just stick with coins because the stamps are ruined at that point. There's no use going
What's
after
a waterproof?
them. A waterproof stamp?
You were thinking ahead. Just in case this falls over.
Oh, my gosh.
I want this to be in a waterproof container.
Oh, gosh. So I went so far as to think about that, but not make it float.
Correct.
Oh, wow. I'm an idiot, apparently. Okay, so...
You didn't think you blinded this.
I did not at all. So 2 things immediately come to mind. The first one is you take as big a gulp as possible and you just go up, right?
Hump it.
Also, have you seen those free divers when they hyperventilate themselves to build oxygen? I don't know if you can do that underwater though. Like I don't know if you can do it or not. I'd try it, man.
Certainly be hard.
I'd be sucking on that thing like it. Well, I'd be drinking a
Whoa.
lot of oxygen like real fast, and then I'm bolting up, man. But
So
that sounds terrible. And what happens
Just
if
in case-
What happens if all of your insides come out of your mouth because you got the
just in case you actually find yourself in this position, that's not something you're going to want to do.
right.
You don't want to take the deepest breath you can possibly take, because what's going to happen is, and you're not going to want to just shoot all the way up as fast as you can, because you're going to get this nasty little booger called the bends.
I was going to say it's not good.
and that the reason you don't want to take your deepest breath is as you're coming up, it's expanding,
Right.
because the water pressure is not pushing down on you so hard. So
Weird.
you can actually cause yourself to exhale.
So what's the answer then?
You're gonna take
A small
a
breath.
medium sized breath.
Okay.
And you can, man, if it was me, I would hit that O2 mask.
Right.
Medium breath and just close my eyes and just kind of slowly go up.
Ooh, son.
Because I mean,
I don't like it.
You don't want to get the bends, man.
Gosh.
Because that will legit kill you.
Yeah, it can. I don't know. I think in that moment, given in that circumstance, I think I would panic and just die.
Yeah, probably.
I'd
so.
just take a big breath and go at it. I'd get like 20 foot up. I'd just die. It would be like poor Pastor Finewood. He tried to save his coins. He tried to save that peace dollar he's carrying around all the time.
That peace dollar was the death of him.
He died.
I guess he won't be passing out no peace dollars anytime soon.
Well, that was the last one. Whoever recovers me, that's the last peace dollar I'll ever give away.
Oh, what if that peace dollar becomes cursed and everybody that ever tries to recover that dies from the bins trying to get back up to the surface?
That sounds like a great survival / horror flick.
Yes.
Like the coin follows, or whoever gets it, they die like a Final Destination.
Yeah.
Peace dollar edition.
Yep. Yeah.
Final Destination 87, the peace dollar.
Peace be with you.
Peace be with you. And also with you. All right. Thank you, Blinder, for you. Mr. Beasy,
Go.
how would your life change if there were dinosaurs still alive and walking around?
It wouldn't.
Oh,
I'd
come on.
I'd have a cool ass pet.
Well, all right. I could see. Okay, so that's one good change. You'd have a cool pet. Which one do you think you'd pick?
Most people will be like, man, I want to tame a velociraptor.
Right.
Nah, man, they'll eat you. I'm going to go with a herbivore. So
Okay.
either a stego or a trike.
Yep.
Bro, get something like that. Maybe even a brontosaurus.
It's a big pet, bro.
We did have that segment a long time ago about, I think it was a Thinky Blinders, if I wanted an elephant or a giraffe or something.
Right, yeah.
Nah, give me the brontosaurus, man.
That's the biggest. It's the
Just
biggest thing.
biggest
you can
one
find.
out there, bro.
You're gonna have a hard time feeding them around here. There's no grass.
Well,
It's gonna be out there eating cotton fields.
probably so. We're just going to go to a farmer's plat and just eat all the hay bales, one hay bale at a time.
There you go. That would suck if the farmer had a T-Rex as a pet.
Oh, well, I mean, Brontosaurus can hold its own on a T-Rex, man. Ain't you ever seen Fantasia?
I don't know, man. What if you had like 4 T-Rexes?
Yeah,
Taking on the
that's a
Brontosaurus.
different battle.
What if like 4 farmers like ganged up on you and sicked their T-Rexes at you?
We're tired of this bastard rolling in here with his Brontosaurus.
That's pretty good. So I think I would definitely have a cooler man cave because I would have some taxidermy dinosaurs for sure. I'd want one of the Velociraptor, like the whole habitat, like one jumping, one underneath, like trying to get one of the dodo birds or something like that. For sure, that'd be awesome.
I'm probably getting rid of my cars, and I'm gonna tame a pterodactyl.
Oh, you're going straight Flintstones then, bro.
Bro, I'm getting flight.
I like it.
Getting flight. You don't need a boat anymore. Get an ichthyosaurus.
My luck, he would hate me, and I'd end up 100 foot underwater.
Well, that's where the Peace Dollar story begins.
That's right. All right, so I think dinosaur hunting lodges would be awesome.
Oh yeah,
for sure. So you'd have cocaine hippos and also cocaine like prehistoric crocodiles.
Ooh, Lord, that would be. I mean, that's Jurassic Park.
Yeah, it really
in a
is.
nutshell.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun.
Maybe that's what the new one's going to be about.
I'm really looking forward to the new one.
Me too.
For sure.
It's going to be legit.
Pastor and the Heathen?
Okay.
The Pastor and the Heathen.
Thank you, Maestro. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, Pastor and the Heathen, basically typically two perspectives for a question that is fitting for our time. And this week is a little more relevant, maybe for some of our younger listeners.
Fair.
Some of us older folks have, we've made mistakes doing this, and or we've lived through it and it wasn't a problem.
Yes.
Here's the question. Should couples live together before getting married?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
100%.
Right out of the bat, you think yes.
Yeah.
What for?
Well, I mean, you got to find out if the milk is good before you buy the cow.
Oh, God.
You know that old adage.
I guess. I think the adage is why pay for the milk or why pay for the cow when you're getting the milk for free. But I guess it works in your. What kind of
when in Rome?
What kind of cow gives bad milk? I mean, that makes good sense.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe a sick one. You get curdled milk straight out the nip.
I don't think that's a thing. Maybe.
I mean, it could be. You don't know.
I guess there's probably like dry cows where they can't
Don't produce.
lactate. Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
All right.
I think yeah. I mean, me and my wife did. I think she moved in probably a year and a half before we got married.
Okay.
So
y'all living in sin, shacking up
yeah, whatever.
for a year?
For a little over a year, I believe.
Okay. All right.
And I mean, we're just you find all your nuances
It's true.
early on before it's I do, I hate you.
Okay. Okay. Okay, to kick back on that point, I guess the reason that you're making is, or the point you're making, you do that so that you won't get in a situation where you feel like you got a vominos.
Yeah.
Like once you're already tied into it.
Correct.
Okay. So statistically speaking, it doesn't hold water because people who live together get divorced at a higher rate than people who don't.
I want to see the numbers.
Okay, I'll get them to you, but I promise it's true. So that has dealt out. Now you can go into the specifics of the statistics if you want, and you can make statistics say whatever you want, right?
Sure.
Okay, so there's something to that. So let's put that aside.
Okay.
I think if you're going to marry somebody, you need to have a quick engagement, and you need to get married pretty quick, and you're dedicated to that person. And divorce, with the exception of very, very few reasons, should not even be on the table. Like that's not an option.
Right.
So if you get married to somebody and, 3, 4, 5 years in, that 7-year itch comes up, well, and you're looking at the younger model or whatever, I'm sorry, bro, but that's not an option anymore. Mm-hmm. So once you make the decision, like you're stuck in your decision, and it better be the right decision.
I mean, I'm not opposed to that.
Not opposed.
But what if you've been dating this chick for a while? And
What's a while?
Oh, well, let's say 2 years, a year, and I don't know, maybe she's a post-op.
What?
But you don't find that out until after you're married. Is that a deal breaker?
I would say yeah. At that point, your deal was with.
But you wouldn't have known that until after she was married.
Okay, you took it to a weird place real fast.
Well, that's what I do.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. Look, all right, as a Christian guy, right?
Okay.
If you're in a Christian relationship and you think, well, this is the one, and you get married, and then like a couple years down the road, it's revealed that he was a she or she was a he. I'm pretty sure that's grounds biblically for a divorce.
I'm pretty sure they didn't have sex change operations in Bible times.
That you know of.
I mean, fair.
Haven't you seen the Da Vinci Code? I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff going on back there. I don't know. So, look, I had my heathen years, right?
I know. I was there for most of them.
And I lived with somebody for a while, and it didn't work out at all. As a matter of fact, it was a huge disaster in the end.
Yeah, because you know what?
What?
You didn't say I love you, and I didn't marry her. So technically, you figured all of this out before you did the marriage.
That's true. That's true. But
therefore, that just drives my point
no,
home.
Because I did propose, and we were going to get married, and thankfully, it fell apart before that was a reality. Because that would have been probably a disaster of a situation.
Yeah.
However,
was it the blonde?
Yes.
Oh, good God.
Yeah, it was bad. So the next relationship I had, which was a while after that, because I didn't date anybody for a long time, like 5 years.
Yeah, you went celibate.
Basically. And so I did it right the second time. And we courted each other, and she went to New Mexico for a little bit. We lived, for 6 months apart. And then I moved to Albuquerque. We had 2 separate residences. And when we got married, we moved into one place. And we did it, quote unquote, the right way. And I do not regret that in any stretch of the imagination. I'm happy I did it that way. And looking back on it, I'm proud of the fact that we did it that way. I think it was a good and honorable thing to do. And I think it respected her as well from a man's position.
Did you have, and this may be too personal.
No, we did not.
Okay.
So no, we did it by the book.
Relations.
Man. We did not. We did everything.
Everything. Did not have relations.
Depends on what your definition of is. No, we did. I became a pastor during that time and rededicated my life. And she was a good Christian woman, and we did everything by the book. And I have no regrets.
No regrets
at all. And there were times that was hard during the dating process, but don't regret it at all. I tell you what, the only thing I do regret, if I could go back and do it again, I would have married her sooner. Because we were engaged for like a year and a half because of school and a couple other things.
Right.
I would have done it sooner. I think we would have been better off if we would have done it a little bit faster than we did.
Interesting.
But we both knew divorce isn't an option. We're both Christian people. This is going to be it. And you if you go into it with that, well, you begin to ask questions where I think some of those ugly things, quote unquote, those things that are deal breakers, I think those things are going to come up if you're going into it with the mindset of, look, if you're the one, I got to figure that out like right now.
All right.
Because I don't want to worry about that, 5 years from now.
Well, and me and my wife didn't do the way you did it.
Right.
But we know we both come from broken homes.
Right.
So we've early on, even before, like when we got engaged and we started talking about the whole wedding and everything, we're like, divorce isn't an option. I'm going to have to kill you.
Which I'm going to tell you something right now. If that was on the table, you're going to be the one not making it out of that situation.
Oh, no, that's what she said to me.
I know that's what she said to you.
She said, I'm just going to have to kill you. I was like, well,
I'm surprised she hadn't killed you already.
I'm pretty sure I'll have deserved it.
So I think outside looking in, the pastoral perspective, I'm definitely going to encourage people to do it, again, quote unquote, the right way, if you will, the biblical way. But are there success stories the opposite way? Sure. Are there disaster stories the quote unquote right way? Man, the Christian divorce rate is a little bit higher than the national divorce rate. So you can't tell me that it's the perfect way either.
Yeah, but how many of those Christians that got divorced did the right biblical way?
I don't know. That's some statistical stuff we'd have to kind of dig into.
Crunch some numbers.
So
get the word nerds.
The word nerds. The one study I did read, and again, it's a little bit biased because it was coming from Christianity Today, so it's a it's a Christian perspective. They boiled down to the 1% of Christians that met these criteria before they got married. The divorce rate was less than 2%. So the 1%,
less than 2% on a 1%.
Okay, the 1% of Christian couples that met the criteria that they presented.
Okay.
That you remained celibate before marriage, that you're both committed Christians, you went to church, and you had blah, blah, blah. They had all these things. If both couples met those parameters, the divorce rate was less than 2%. And the national average is like 37%.
Sorry about
So
that.
there's definitely something to that. But all that being said, we haven't even talked about whether or not you consider it sinful.
No.
Well, of course, no, for you. I mean, that's an easy one, right? But for me, that's not really even the point. The point is the other side, which is divorce isn't an option.
Yeah.
You don't get a starter husband or a starter wife.
Nah, I agree.
And that's like a cultural thing now.
It says till death.
Yeah. And some of us are setting a goal.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Don't rely on a starter husband. Just make sure that it's going to be the one for a long time.
Don't go in it with Mark 1 husband.
Yes. And if you come to a place in your marriage where somebody says, well, you've changed, and that's a reason to get divorced, I'm just going to tell you right now, that's not a reason. And
That's shenanigans. Everybody's changed.
Everybody changes all the time. And also God's telling me to get divorced. He's definitely not. That's not a biblical answer.
Well, so I was sleeping last night, and the angel Moroni came and talked to me. He said, "You need to leave this bitch because she's crazy."
The first sign would be the angel was named Moroni. Probably flee from that particular angel.
Yeah.
All right, man. Great episode.
Yes.
Episode 62. So we've got our Tenacious D. I'll tell you what, before we get that, let's do a little updates.
Oh, okay. I got some news updates for you today.
One of these days we're going to have a button for that, but I just like the fact that you do it on the fly every
I
time.
don't have a problem nailing it every single time.
All right, at the beginning of our episodes, from now until we decide it's not working, I'm going to do the last but not least, and we'll just kind of do all the things that we're telling you about, right? Updates from now on are going to be just a very brief recap of that, and also we're asking of you guys to send us information, to send us answers to questions, your opinions, voicemails, emails, all that stuff, and we'll put that in this segment, in the update segment. So
I like it.
if y'all send us that stuff, we'll put it in the update. So we touched on, I think, just on socials, but for the next, I guess it'll be 10 full episodes. We're going to do a Tenacious D honorarium on the pre-intros.
Yes.
So the little thing we always do before we kick it, we're going to do, I think, full 10 episodes, 61 to 70.
Yeah.
Is that, once you include
anyway, something
9
like that.
or 10, it'll be a little
Roundabouts.
Tenacious D honorarium.
We're
So
not mathematicians.
if you haven't listened to the original Tenacious D album, shame on you.
Yeah.
Go get that done. And then just a quick reminder, Eccentric Brewery, love having those guys as sponsors. Come out and see us March the 11th at that location. That's in Midland, Eccentric Brewery. We'll be there all evening. We'll be sharing drinks with everybody, and we'd love to see you, talk to you, and then we'll be recording there on location the next day in preparation for Patty's Day, which will be the following Thursday. So we actually get to release the episode on Patty's Day, which will be pretty awesome. Cocoa Cocktails.
Real fast on Eccentric Brewing, their address.
I was hitting a stride,
Well,
man.
I'm here to trip you up.
Okay.
That is my goal in life.
Appreciate
when
that.
you said I do want
no.
to do this podcast. I
It's
said
the
I
death of this
do
part.
want to kill you.
Wow. I got serious
And trip
real
you
fast.
up.
I hear eyes are weird right now.
No, so Eccentric Brewing's address, if you guys want to meet us out there on the 11th, it is 1402 Cotton Flat Roads in Midland, Texas, zip code 79701.
And we'll put that all over the socials.
Yes.
Next week leading up to it. All right. Cocoa Cocktails is back on board, so be sure to check those guys out. We'll put the the description. Good grief. We'll put the website in the description so you can go look at all the stuff that they've got. And a reminder that Hidden Revival number 9 just came out a couple weeks ago.
It did.
And you can go over to Patreon, and if you join the Hidden Brethren or the Life Shippers, you get access to that podcast and also some discounts on some pretty sweet merch.
Yeah.
And the Pig Hunting Club, or the Pig Dragon Hunting Club, is a legit shirt.
Yes, it is.
I think that and the Vegan Cat, I like those.
Yep, I
Very,
do wear
very
those
good.
a lot.
Patty's Day's coming up.
It is.
We're looking forward to that. It's going to be good times. So make sure you hit that subscribe button on whatever podcast platform you are listening to. Head over to YouTube. You can subscribe there. Don't miss a moment because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up this spring. I'm going to be doing some cool stuff on the YouTube channel for us. We're going to be having some shorts edited in, and I have a feeling that we have an artist that's going to do some graphics for us.
Ooh,
so I don't know about that.
snap.
It's a little bit of foreshadowing, something that might happen.
Nice.
So anyway, appreciate you guys. Thank you to all the OGs and the newbies. If you that have been around from the very beginning, we appreciate you. We love you. Couldn't do this without you. And if you're just joining us today for the first time, thanks so much. Last but not least, thanks to our wives. And vote Pinewood and Beezy 2023.
That's right.
Anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Ponder?
Let's do it. Ponder this. People will swim in the ocean, even there are definitely many corpses in it, but will not swim in a pool with a corpse in it. Therefore, humans have a corpse-to-water ratio that is acceptable for them to swim in.
That's a good point.
I know, right? It makes you think. That's why I
does.
ponder this.
I like that.
Well, that is going to do it for episode 62 of Fraternize with these guys. I'm Beezy the Heathen.
I am Pastor Pinewood.
Stay plentiful, friends, and remember, if those commie Ruskies muster up the gumption to invade America, we made a movie about that in the 80s, telling them it wouldn't work out in their favor. Wolverines!
I love Tenacious D.
I do too, man.
I know you do. Like it defines who we are.
Agreed. I look like Jack Black.
And you act like him too.
Fair.
You don't have his money.
No.
But
Yet.
as great as the intro was, creative,
Yeah.
loved putting it together,
Yeah.
it just wasn't the same.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to just re-up the ante and do the real thing.
You just acapella it?
Have at it, bro.
Well, karate, I'll kick your ass from here to Tiananmen Square. Oh, yeah, motherfucker. I'm gonna kick your fucking derriere. Yeah, yeah. You broke the rules. Now I'll pull out all your pubic hair. You motherfucker.
That's why we didn't do it in the original.
Oh, that'll do it.
Sorry about that.